Good afternoon, Belize. It's midday and you're tuned into the news at noon, where we bring you the latest updates from around the country. I'm Isani Cayetano, and here's what's making headlines today. BTL tensions boil over as unions and UDP take protests to the streets. We'll take you live to St. Thomas Street. BCWJ calls for Mark Lizarraga's resignation. These stories are coming up in just 1 minute.
Every night, I bring you the stories that matter, delivering the facts with professionalism and heart. As an anchor, my goal is to keep you informed, connected, and engaged with the world around us. But the news isn't just about the headlines. I'm Sabrina Daly, and each week we look on the bright side with stories that inspire, uplift, and celebrate the strength of our community. Join me every night as we uncover stories that inform, inspire, and connect us. I am News 5.
Welcome back. This morning here in Belize City, tensions over the situation at BTL spilled out onto the streets. The United Democratic Party, along with leaders from the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, including the Belize Energy Workers Union and the Christian Workers Union, gathered in front of BTL St. Thomas Street compound. As we reported on Monday, the NTUCB, the opposition, and even the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry all issued strong public statements. Well, today those words have turned into action. Here's NTUCB President Ella Waite.
As far as we know, there will be a meeting. We have not gotten anything back to say there would not be a meeting today. What's on the agenda, we don't know. That is why we're out here, just in case they decide to go ahead with any partial signing or any partial agreement. That is why we're out here.
And if they go ahead with the signing, what can we expect?
You see the amount of people out here, I would not want to see any kind of riots or anything like that going on. I'm not saying that would happen, but let's avoid anything like that happening. Let's ensure that we go by the rules of the country and do the right thing and hold on to the process.
How would you describe the emotions in the atmosphere right now, not only from union representatives, but also based on what you've seen from the opposition?
Well, the opposition, I can't speak for them, but for us out here as union representatives, you notice we're this side, we're just observing and we're keeping status of what's happening in there as well. Believe me, we know what's happening. So we are just waiting, ensuring that, of course, we are very respectful people, we're holding the peace, but we hope that we can continue holding the peace, and as long as they do the right thing and don't do anything today, it will remain like that.
Let's check in with reporter Paul Lopez from St. Thomas Street.
We are currently in front of the BTL DJ headquarters here in Belize City, where we just got done covering a protest led by the United Democratic Party and their supporters. Alongside the United Democratic Party, we also saw members of various unions under the umbrella union, the NTUCB, the National Trade Union Congress of Belize. These protesters assembled at around 8 a.m. this morning, and the crowds grew between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. And at 10 a.m., UDP supporters led a move to enter the compound, which was being blocked off by police officers and a gate. And so they broke through that gate and thereafter broke through the police officers who resisted as best as they could. And protesters made their way to the entrance of the building. However, after much push and pulling, pepper spray being utilized in that instances, and Lee Mark Chang, the United Democratic Party area rep for Mesopotamia, intervening, the agitated protesters eventually backed off from in front of the BTL building, or at least from in front of the entrance of the BTL building. And that was also encouraged by party leader Tracy Panton. They then exited the compound and made their way outside, where a level of calm was restored. We saw where union members decided not to join in the storming of the building or the storming of the compound. They maintained their position outside on the street. They also maintained that they were not out here to participate in such an action, and that a time will come for that. And so the protest has pretty much wrapped up. We see supporters making their way back onto buses, and these buses leaving the area. And of course, we will be providing you with a full and comprehensive coverage of all that unfolded here this morning in tonight's coverage. So reporting from the BTL headquarters here in Belize City for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Pressure is mounting inside Belize Telemedia Limited, where former workers are openly challenging the leadership at the state-owned company. The Belize Communications Workers for Justice are now calling for the resignation of BTL chairman Malcolm Zaraga, saying trust, transparency and accountability have broken down under his watch. Their demand comes as concerns grow over BTL's refusal to fully honor a Caribbean Court of Justice ruling, one that clearly states severance is separate from pension and must be paid to all eligible employees. Add to that what the union calls a glaring conflict of interest in the proposed acquisition of SpeedNet, and the pressure on Zaraga is only intensifying. Here's the BCWJ making its case for why the chairman should step aside.
When I was the president of BCWU, he had a meeting in our office against then the United Democratic Party's government and was telling us that all these same things that we are demanding, including severance, was due to us. Like, you want me to get it in his book. Yes, it was good. And now he is in the place where he can make it happen. And is telling us that there are people who are qualified. What makes him be the one to determine who are qualifying for the severance? So, saying that nicely, I think conflict and inflict. He'll need to.
Are you all his pros?
Oh, long time. We should have done that before he started.
That's a wrap for the news at noon. But don't worry, there's plenty more coming your way at 6 p.m. We'll dive deeper into these stories and more. In the meantime, visit greaterbelize.com and follow us on Facebook for real-time updates. And don't miss Open Your Eyes tomorrow morning for fresh takes on today's headlines. Thanks for tuning in, Belize. Stay informed, stay inspired, and have a fantastic afternoon.